Loss of a paycheck. That's what 123,000 federal workers and 114,000 active duty service members in Texas could face if the federal government shuts down. So we've got consumer reporter Heather Sullivan joining us with some smart sense to manage the sudden loss of income. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Personal finance experts say, of course, we should always have that 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up in an emergency fund. But Bankrate found 52% of Americans don't. But there are steps that federal workers or really anyone can take if they're furloughed. If the federal government shuts down, federal workers may go without paychecks. But personal finance experts say there are strategies to manage a sudden loss of income. First, calculate your essential needs.
Making sure your mortgage or your rent is a priority. So prioritize those safety needs, housing, food, shelter, transportation.
Second, call your creditors. If you have credit card debt, loans, or student loan payments that just resumed, ask your creditors about pausing or reducing monthly payments until your income resumes.
The last time we had a government shutdown, the furloughs happened. There were a lot of creditors that proactively offered forbearances or skipping payments, things like that.
Third, cut expenses you don't absolutely need.
If you have a gym membership, if you have your streaming services, you can put them on pause. You don't necessarily have to cancel them.
And fourth, look for ways to add income.
To maybe generate some short-term gig type work or looking for items that you don't necessarily need anymore around the house that you could easily sell.
Furloughed federal employees are eligible for unemployment benefits.
So if they do get paid retroactively for that time period, they may have to pay back those benefits, but still that would bridge that gap.
And they can receive SNAP benefits, the Supplemental Food Assistance Program, if they meet eligibility criteria. SNAP officials say funding is available for the month of October, but federal staff shortages and a stalled farm bill could later delay benefits from being loaded onto cards. So it is stressful, of course, to suddenly lose your income, but putting together that plan can really help to alleviate some of that stress.
All right, so Heather, a lot of people depend on those medical benefits. Also, what can they do about that?
Yeah, good news there. Furloughed federal workers will maintain their coverage under the Federal Employees Health Benefits Program. Premiums do accrue over the course of the shutdown, and then they're taken out of their first paycheck when the government reopens.
All right, good to know. Thank you for bringing us that smart sense.
Yeah.